I'm going ahead and I'm going to shoot with a 35 millimeter. This little video is going to be on basically how to capture a single shot. So as we talked before in lighting, I've chosen to use bounce light off the ceiling for this particular skull because it's really easy, it's really fast, it's really simple, and it works great with TTL. So essentially what I've done is I've taken this, it's a Virginia whitetail deer skull. I've propped it up on a white cardboard box so that you won't see the box from the top. And I put it on a piece of gray paper. That's it. And I'm starting with, I'll bring the camera down so you can see it. This is the Sigma lens on this camera. Now, as with any lens when we're starting, especially with a single shot, if we want to have our measurement scales accurate, we need to set the lens on one of the fixed magnification settings so that you're not in between. Otherwise, the measurement scales, as we've discussed, won't be relevant. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this on 0.8 because I'm familiar with this size material on this lens and I know that's going to give me the field of view I want. An important point, when you're fighting depth of field, it is far more advantageous for you to reduce your magnification by zooming out and having your subject take up maybe only 50 or 60% of your field of view. You'll have far greater depth of field than if you're zoomed in, and because you're shooting with a 50 megapixel the Canon camera, you've got such a big image you can crop it out and still see incredible detail, but you're not going to be fighting that depth of field. So this is why I like to get it out of the way. I'm going to put on live view now. We're going to take a look at what we have, and I'll show you how to set this up. It's real simple. So to start up our Capture One, as we've detailed before, I'm going to go into my catalog, and I'm going to start that up. I'll hit the passport key on the keyboard so I can start up my, my rail. So if I want to move my rail, I can. I'm using my handheld remote, and I'm going to put on my modeling lamps for my lights. And I'm going to put on live view. Okay, so there's my subject there in the image. Now I'm going to go back here and I'm going to raise my copy stand up. I'll bring it up to about there, and I'll lock it in. Now I'm going to compose my subject, sort of center it within my field of view. Let me drag that paper over more. There we go. Okay, can you all see on the monitor what we got going on here? Okay, so there's the skull there. Now, I've gone ahead and I've looked at this skull and I've seen the depth we have to cover from the tip of this antler on down in the nasal cavity, which is down here. So I've focused on sort of a midway point as a starting point, and I'm going to go with f5.6 to start. You can see down here we're on the antler. Now I'm using TTL because I don't have to fight with adjusting the exposure. It's going to give me a decent shot. I biased the camera, by the way, 1 1/3 stops because I am shooting a white bone. And if I don't do that, then this is going to be slightly underexposed. But here's our first shot. You can see, okay, everything, we need to get the bottom of this in focus more. So I'm going to go to f8 and take another shot. Wow, now the suture's just popped in back. I still want to get a little bit more detail down here on the bottom of the nasal cavity. My antlers are absolutely tack sharp. So that's telling me I can actually lower my camera down a bit. And I'm going to take it to f11. I'm going to take a shot. Wow, okay. So now we've got the nasal cavity sharp. We've got the tips of the antlers sharp. That's it. There's no shadows, and we have a depth of focus on this of a solid 20 centimeters from top to bottom. Now, because of the fact that I have that lens set at 0.8 on the magnification, I can now go into Photoshop and use any of my pre-selected scales. I've gone ahead and I've done this for you just to show you. I took this and I cropped it, and I dropped a 5 centimeter scale in here, and this is accurate. So when I pull in the scales, you can see SIG at 0.8 is where it's calibrated. If I had it in between 0.8 or 0.6, these scales wouldn't work. This is why it's really important that you have it on one of the prime numbers. Well, that's it for a single shot with a 35. It's pretty easy. The bounce light, I will say, makes this shadow free. Very simple to use. The TTL takes all the guesswork out of exposure. Now, if I wanted to, later, and we'll talk about this in lighting, to get in and finesse it, add shadows to it, create a hair light, we'll turn it on to manual. But at least TTL gets us where we need to be. It gets us a great starting point. And the 35 millimeter lens has incredible resolution and depth of field. It's a really great go-to lens for doing this sort of macro work. That's it on the 35 on a single shot.